I think we're really going to do it. We are live. Are we live? Can you see me? For God's sakes, that was terrible.
I can't see you on my thingamajinger.
I can't hear you, so I don't know I'm talking to you.
Oh, that's live.
Is it working? You might have to turn your volume down.
Okay.
Hey, look. It's us. We're
Don't
live.
tell me twice.
I don't.
All right, well, let's get this started. That was terrible.
Here we go.
It was minor technical difficulties.
Minor technical difficulties. But
We got everybody still?
we got a good camera angle. Did everybody get swapped over?
Swap meet Louie's in.
What's up, RG? What is he saying? Something?
Cody said, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
Well, that was
that
successful.
was slightly stressful because the computer didn't want to cooperate.
Yeah, that was
It has
terribly
nothing to do with
stressful.
my internet connection.
No, I'm pretty sure it has something to do with me setting it up on my desktop and not the laptop. And so I will never do that again. Sorry for the delay and the different link. So we are here tonight at Derek's Garage, and this is a place of many fond beer drinking nights and working on cars. He welded my exhaust up on the Chevelle. You may recognize him from that or the last live feed. We've got Zach, as always, Jen, and Spike. So, Derek, why don't you give us a little history or background about your garage?
It was built, I bought the place in 2006 with the alley access, knew I could put up a shop. Was able to get my uncle Bill to frame a garage for me in 2008, 36 by 30, 10'6" ceiling. So just enough height to get a lift behind us, which was great. No more working on the ground.
Ugh.
How do you know? Do you know about that?
Yeah, I spent all Monday laying on my back
Yeah.
working on the Suburban.
Can you guys hear us?
Derek, what are some of the
Somebody said they can
some of your
see
favorite
us.
projects that you've worked on in here? I know you've
Just
had
has nice
a lot of
cat.
cars in and out of
Says
here.
what?
Let's see.
We
So
can see and hear you.
one of the first projects I started on in 2009 was my first.
Tried that.
Well, another Monte Carlo I was trying to build after my first car, my 83. Bought, I think it was an 84 that I started on. It was going to be a lowrider hydraulic car. And it didn't take too long to realize that shouldn't happen again because they're very expensive.
You were just over it.
Yep. The guy I used to work with had a 1980 Monte Carlo that I wanted for a long time, and it actually came up for sale for $750.
God, that was back when you could buy
The
cars
price
for
was right.
$50.
It was sweet. He wanted $1,500, and I thought $750 was a good price.
You really cut him in half, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so that was his high school car. Actually, it was his first car. He took it up to Scribner and drag raced it. Once I got that one, I scrapped the other one.
I can't
Basically
get
put
to
it in the
live chat.
backyard, the frame,
Brandon
everything
have a
else,
stroke?
and then sold it to another buddy and
On
started on an 80
Nice
Monte.
hat.
And
That's the car that you did that big burnout in here with. When
yeah,
you started tearing the car apart, you completely filled the garage full of smoke and had to open the doors.
I
don't even
thought
know-
the fire trucks were going
It's
to show
gonna
up.
be asking.
I couldn't even see. I had to feel my way to the door to open it up.
That was a long project. I mean, I remember pretty much being here, hanging out with you at least throughout a lot of different phases of that project. So,
Then my dad's 56 Chevy, we did full, pretty much frame off, new floor pans. We did 30 sheet metal patches on that thing and spent 18 months.
Where did
working on
that
it.
car come from?
His 56 was
Yeah.
from I believe it was 11th and G Street. It was a Sunday or a Saturday that we went down there at like 9:30 p.m. and looked at it. It was underneath the cover in an alley. And then he took the next day off to go get it started, reworked the ignition, got it fired up, and bought it that morning. Drove it as is, yellow for a while, and then tore it down. So 2012, I believe, or 11.
yeah, it's been on the road pretty much finished since 11.
Yep.
It was just featured on Speedway's website in the toolbox. Some people might have seen an email if they get emails from Speedway. It's like a, what would you call those colors? It's like diamond ice pearl.
Diamond Ice
and
Pearl, like Cadillac color on the
Burgundy
tri-coat,
type
and then
color.
burgundy red color.
I don't remember the exact name of it.
It's maroon and white. Pretty traditional, classic looking.
Good looking
Has
car.
Kragers,
Pretty.
Yep.
small block, turbo 350.
No, he
You know.
drives it frickin' everywhere.
Probably has 20,000 miles on that thing since then
I'd say so, pretty close to it.
by now. But what else have you worked on in here that stood out in your mind?
Well, we did your sedan delivery.
Well,
Kind of started
that's
at
true.
your house, actually.
Yeah,
Some patch panels and stuff, and then came over here for motor
several
assembly.
transmissions.
Several transmissions, like 1.5 motors, maybe
No, it's been 3 motors,
3 motors.
4 transmissions.
At least 4.
Do you count the different motors when you just replace one head?
What is a halfer?
That's a
That's a half a motor.
that's like a quarter motor.
Well, I mean, if you don't have one head, only half of it's going to run.
That's
So
a good point. All right, I stand corrected.
you know, it's a
Field
vital
component.
component.
Yeah, makes sense when you
Um,
think about it.
Well, Mike Chevelle's been over here, like you mentioned, to do exhaust
2
on the
times,
lift.
yeah. I had
Lifts
my
are cool.
Chevelle over here. Well, and TIG welders are also very cool. Someday I'll have one, maybe. Probably 3 years ago, we started doing my exhaust, and I needed to order some stainless steel V-bands. And ordered them. Then the very next day, they were here the next week, and about 3 years later,
Hold up system.
yeah,
Direct
we finished welding up the tailpipes up and over the axles. So
Once we cut it down and make it fit.
yeah, a complete bolt-in kit. Sure did take about 8 hours of fabrication work to get to work. Still rubs every once in a while, but oh shit, I wasn't supposed to
Sorry
say
about
that.
Well, that was probably a kit for a 4-door. You know, they're different.
Oh, 4-door kits.
Yeah, totally different.
Who's there?
Hey, Mike, give me a beer, please.
Oh,
Jared.
sure.
Yes, please, sir.
Spike, your car was over here too.
Yeah, which
Tell that story.
Yeah, what's up with your car?
Yeah, what kind of car is that?
FTP plan on a meet and
my
greet.
car used to be
Where can I
Derek's
get a
car,
t-shirt?
the 63
Who's
Impala.
Cody.
Oh,
Mike, throw Jared a beer too. We've got a visitor that just
What's up,
showed up.
Big
never
Hey!
know. Never know what's going to show up over here.
Get right in here.
Oh, you're just on screen. That's
Woo!
weird.
How did that
Do you
happen?
want to scoot you a little bit? Say hi to YouTube.
There's been a lot of exhaust jobs in here.
You're going to be on the internet
Especially with
forever.
a lift. You get a lift, you gain friends.
Jared's like, hi, Blippy.
It's kind of like a car trailer.
Yeah, never liked Derek before he got a lift.
Yeah,
And all of a sudden
if
we're
you're doing a
best
car
friends.
trailer or a car lift, they're pretty neat.
Yeah, you really do.
Spike, finish telling the story about your car.
Well, I picked up on the 63 Impala when you and Derek left off. Basically, you guys had finished the chassis.
It was Derek's car first, right?
Derek found it in a tree from a guy named Randy.
How high in a tree?
I don't know, Derek. How high was it?
About like that.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So, like,
I wish
5
we
feet
had
up?
pictures of that.
What?
Like 5 foot off the ground?
The
Yes,
back
it
bumper.
was. Yeah, well, it was. So the guy lifted the back half of the car up in a tree with a log chain to pull the suspension and the tranny and stuff out, and then left it hanging there
The back
for
half.
a long time.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the back
he-
half of it
he
was
back halfed
lifted
it.
up.
Seems
And
odd.
it was weird. I don't know what the reason
Well,
for that
Derek-
was.
Derek bought that car to. I'm not sure. Was it just an addition to your other 63, or
The body
was
was
it?
a lot nicer, so
His
I had
63
the
cars.
blue-
Yeah, that's what I thought you meant.
Yeah.
The,
blue 63 I had.
I didn't. Was it going to be a parts car, or was it?
No, that was going to be the car. I
The
guess.
base
The,
of
the
base
blue
of
one
the
is going to
build.
be the parts car for the red one. Because when I bought the blue one, I got pretty excited, spent some money on it,
Well, I don't
and
know.
I got it home and looked under it. The frame was rusted. There's pretty much nothing
Well,
usable.
yeah, the original frame
So I sold it
was,
to you. That's why.
was crunched. Actually, your blue 63, the really roached one, sat for what, 5 years?
In
And
the
I
front
would-
driveway.
Joke around and say, "When are you going to sell that to me?" And you'd say, "You don't want it."
and you didn't because you didn't understand
Yeah,
how bad
was
it really was.
bad.
It's
Well-
one of those cars that looks really good until you like start looking.
I
at
just
it
like the
close.
back
It
end
was
of the
painted with a
63
roller,
Impala. And one day I came
What's wrong
over
with that?
and I was like, "Derek, why don't you sell me that thing? It just sits here." He's like, I might
We'll get to
think
that
about it.
someday.
And then it actually happened, and it blew my mind. But
Yeah, me too.
we had it on a rotisserie.
Still bummed.
Do you want to buy it back?
Yes.
How
I
much?
felt so bad.
What's the dollar price to get
Hey,
him to buy it back
Let
right
him finish
now?
his story. You guys shut up.
we had it on a rotisserie. We rolled the frame that you and Derek
Rolled it?
under it.
No.
We rolled the frame under it that you and Derek finished. And I don't know. How many cars did you have off the frame in this garage?
Oh boy.
I was probably like the fifth or sixth one.
I think fourth because I think it was the 56 Chevy. I mean, that wasn't like it wasn't 10 feet from the frame, but it was inches off the frame. The body was suspended while they replaced
You're
the floors.
saying Tim's car?
No, GT's car. This the
Okay.
56.
Tim's 54 Chevy that me and you did the panels and
Yep.
Timmy
Then-
brought over.
Then the Impala was next, and then your 55. Or okay, so yours was the third one, and I think there's only
Well,
10
my mom
four.
with the 80.
Oh, okay, 5. So yours is the 4.
And when the plumbing industry fell out in, is that 2009?
We can't count parts cars.
No, no.
Oh, okay.
If they don't go
Zero
back together,
parts
they don't
cars.
count. If they're
Well,
only
they went
coming
back together
apart.
at somebody else's house. I sold the parts.
Oh, well, we don't
Scrap
know if they
parts.
went back together or not.
No, they did.
Hey, what do you got for some questions? Because I think people are asking
Yeah,
questions
so-
and we're ignoring everybody.
Cody says, does FTP plan on a meet and greet anytime? And he also wants to know where he can get a T-shirt.
So meet and greet, yes, we're trying to figure something out. Maybe doing some sort of a cruise type thing this springtime. Don't know any details right now. It's kind of been an idea. The website is underway and it's pretty close to done. It's just on me now to get all the content that needs to be put on there over to this guy so he can finish it up.
You're exaggerating. It has a long way to go.
Oh, it looks really good. We can pull it up and like hold it up to the camera. I think it looks awesome. But yeah, so we're working on that. I've got Elijah doing some shirt designs for me, and yeah, we're doing what we can. It's been busy the last couple weeks, so I haven't hardly done anything.
Well, it won't stop snowing around here, and we have to keep going out working on snow removal instead of working
Yeah,
on cars.
I mean, we did
Or at least this is
3.5
last year.
hours of snow removal, like right before we had to get here. So my pants are probably still wet from doing that. So yeah, it's hard to find time when there's so much going on. But
Brandy's follow-up to that is, when will it be live? And I think
I'm shooting for end of February.
so am I. Me
Yeah.
too.
That's like what? That's like 3 weeks away. 2
Yeah.
weeks away? 3 weeks?
Yeah.
That should give us enough
No
time.
time like the present.
Yeah.
What other questions we got?
Someone said nice had.
Had?
Yeah, I got
Does
this
that
nice
mean
hat.
like nice car that you had? Is that
Oh,
No,
nicest
nice
car, nicest car I ever had. Boy, there's a couple of them.
Can we fire up Derek's 348?
Was that a
I can
question?
do-
But yeah, we
Okay,
can
John
definitely do
wants
that.
to know
John,
wiring harness better to replace entirely or mark and cut?
You can.
So, what's your opinion on splicing wiring harness?
Okay, so are we talking like a chassis harness or engine harness?
Probably. Well, you're kind of focused on like
Engine
drivetrain
harness.
swaps, engine swaps.
Yeah, so I like to just take the factory harness and just blow the whole thing apart, label everything, and then just start routing it individually.
How's it going, bud?
Partially because I just don't have the money to spend on a custom one-off harness, and then the other part is I like to make it route a certain way, and I don't want it to be loose. I want it to lay down in the channels between the valve cover and the intake or whatever, so you can kind of hide stuff. So I'm partial to just building my own harness out of a factory harness. However, on chassis harness, just go get yourself a American Auto Wire harness and redo the whole thing that way.
Yeah, Derek, you've done a few complete chassis harnesses in cars you've worked on. What's your opinion, I guess, on saving a factory harness versus just starting over, start from scratch, buy a new?
it kind of depends on what your plan is for the car. Because my Monty, I just went with painless.
Which was not painless.
No, not painless at all.
Well, nothing.
It was a
factory
painless
about that
universal kit, so
car. Yeah.
everything was just aftermarket. It was an 80 Monte Carlo. I put a 2006 Impala dash in, used the turn signal from that stock Impala and the headlight switch.
Valid column.
Column.
Ignition switch, everything was a nightmare.
So it was nice to use that universal kit from Painless.
The info buttons and all that stuff on the dash.
Yeah.
I remember those were giving us fits that one day right before, what was that, World of Wheels? Yeah.
2008.
What was your induction prior to Phytech? Or was Phytech the first one?
For
No.
For the
Was
money.
that
TPI,
setup?
Factory
old school
GM.
TPI.
What's your opinion on the
Throw that in the garbage.
Throw it in the gutter and go get another?
Yeah, don't even try it. That's for sale, $500 if anybody.
I don't know why that thing
Yeah,
wouldn't run.
OBO.
I'll get half my money back. OBO.
I don't know why that thing wouldn't run right. It
But-
should have ran right. It just didn't.
No installation goes with it. It's cash and carry.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
Get the hell
you
out of
figure
here.
it out. You got to figure it out because we couldn't.
It's not that you can't. I couldn't.
There's another question.
All right, so Swap Meet Louie wants to know, Timmerman, what are you working on?
Oh,
Swap Meet Louie is
Me?
Ryan Givens.
Oh,
he probably doesn't want his name out there now.
Hey, too bad.
Call him
No,
RG
he
there.
does. RG, he wants to know what your project
Can you
is
reach
right
that
now.
thing?
Well, we I guess working on rounding
Gets
up
more
parts for
exhaust
that Model A.
Dang, I know.
Start at the top. What is the car? Tell the whole story.
Okay, so it's a 1930 Model A coupe. Bought it. A friend of mine, well, everybody probably knows Ben. Ben helped me find it on the internet.
Been at No Coast Customs?
Ben at No Coast Customs.
Yeah, No Coast Customs.
So we went.
Look
and,
them up. Do awesome work.
we bought that sucker, and it's all Henry Ford stuff. It's running, driving, still has the original banger in it.
Really?
So
Wow.
yeah, it's kind of a weird deal because we bought it. The guy kind of gave us a little test drive in it, and you know just driving around. Those things, they don't have much to them. And then so I'm like, yeah, looks good. The body's good. Really, all I needed it for was the body and the title. So we got it ready to load on the trailer, and I get in the thing to start it up, and I'm like, what the hell is all this? It's not like a normal car. So I asked Ben. I was like, hey man, I don't know how to drive this thing. Can you drive it on the trailer? So then he gets in it, and then he's like the same thing. He's like, what is this? Like, where do you start it? So then I'm like, oh man, like this is embarrassing. So I go and knock on the guy's door. I'm like, hey, I don't know how to start this thing. Can you show me? Because it's to start it. It's like a pedal. It's like a push thing. Anyway, so yeah, we loaded up, drove it home, or drove it on the trailer, brought it home. I drove it around the neighborhood when I lived in town for a while. But anyway, but it's pretty much been sitting. And
it shouldn't be sitting.
now-
Describe what you want to build.
Oh,
what we're
sure.
working on.
So then I went on the internet, and I kind
Yes,
of
that's
started with
Was it
looking
important?
at some other hot rods that I
Dusty.
really wanted to kind of emulate, and I found one, and kind of the recipe for what I want. 32 frame rails pinched for like that Model A body. I found a frame that was welded together out in Bakersfield, California, shop. I think it's called Blackboard Hot Rods. He welds them up. So I actually made a trip out to California. I picked up that frame. That sat in my dad's shop for a while. And then just recently we started buying parts and stuff for that. I ordered a whole bunch of parts from Speedway, kind of
Drilled axle.
plugging around. Yeah, drilled
I-beam
axle.
Buick fins in the front.
Yeah.
LS swapping it?
Nice.
No.
Yeah. We're looking for an LS motor right now.
No, it's gonna have a 1957 283, which RG said the main caps are over here. We need to get those. Did you throw them away?
No, because I have a 1959
No,
283.
no, yeah,
that was my
They're not here?
283.
Oh man,
I
we're
don't
in bad
remember.
shape then. We're
So
gonna have to do it. We're gonna have to find some new ones.
So yeah, I
four
just
speed.
so
Really?
it's gonna have
Kind
a
of a
proper
little bit of a
pedigree
hot
and
rod.
all old stuff. So
Like that idea.
should be pretty rad.
Fairly decent.
Fairly
Swap Meet
decent.
Louie
Fairly
says,
decent.
good work, Timmerman.
John is asking Mike a new question. Can you paint over existing paint? Actually, here's one for Priscilla.
Yeah,
Can you paint
she's a
over
paint
existing paint, or do you need to take it to primer?
Yes, you can paint over existing paint if it is sanded.
And if it's got a nice base
Yes.
underneath it.
Obviously,
If it's lifting.
if it's lifting
Yeah.
or peeling off, you don't want to.
What if there's rust?
What if there's barnacles coming out of it?
Just spray right over them. You're good.
Snap the chute?
Yeah.
Um,
I like to strip
Little
things down, especially if it's an older car. 'Cause
Especially
I
if you don't know what somebody else
just
has done.
don't know what's underneath there.
Jen, are you doing this? Or are you just working on this thing?
this is John's
I'm
car.
gonna
I know
paint
it's Don.
I'm gonna paint
It's
it.
just
Okay.
getting sprayed.
Somebody else did the body work.
Brandy's asking, Mike, do you prefer a car cruise or a car show / hangout?
Yeah, I like the idea if we do a car cruise and then end up at No Coast Custom.
Well, hey, what's
That's
better
worked
than
out
doing
pretty
both?
well.
You know, I like car shows a lot. I think all of us do. But
yeah, I like car shows, but it's more.
It depends on the show.
Yeah, car shows kind of
The show
are
and shines
boring and stuff like that. You just go sit in the sun
We all
all
like
the
to
time.
drive our cars.
We like to drive our cars, put miles on them, beat on them a little bit. If we all just kind of get together and convene at a spot, then I like that. But like setting up a car show and doing all that, it's too
I
much.
like car shows that you can come and go as you please. You know, if you want to show up for an hour, 2 hours, and then you got to go do other stuff that day, or you know, you're ready to just
Right.
be out of there.
Well,
you can
Vintage
leave.
Torque Fest.
Well, that's
That's
a
a
perfect
great
one
one.
because
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's-
because and they have like flamethrower exhaust shows, whatever the hell you want to call it, like
Sort of
live
track
bands,
racing.
dirt track racing, old school drags, and all this
swap
stuff.
meet.
Swap meet. So when you walk through all the cars, you can go do something else, and there's entertainment there. The thing about car shows is just like it's just always in the middle of summer. It's hotter than hell,
So
and you just walk around in a asphalt parking lot.
And I get it. Like the reason why they don't want to let you leave or come and go, because if people just leave, then they're still, you know, charging $5 or whatever it is to get in.
Mhm.
And who's going to want to pay to come in and see 4 cars?
Well, when I first finished the Monty, that was a 6-year build. I was excited to show people around town that. So I did hit up a couple car shows, West Point, and then we did one at
Yeah,
Sam's.
it also depends on what kind of car. Like that
Like
car is
Culver's one.
that's an event
Culver's.
where
Yeah,
you go
Culver's
and
is
take
cool
the
'cause
car
you can
there.
just show up and go.
But like a weekend car show, you know, I guess to everybody out there in YouTube land that's watching, all 3 of you.
How many people are
You know,
actually on the feed right
if
now?
Oh, there's
anybody-
like 4,800.
including
If
us,
anybody
16.
Yeah,
is
it's
going to host a
16.
car show,
You mean us? as
do a
drivers?
cruise. Do an actual
We are the
cruise
exact
that
same
just
as last
stops,
time.
you know, and everybody stops and hangs out, and then they go out and drive to the next stop. like
Or
a
more or
poker
less
run.
just hanging out with
Yeah.
our friends.
Derek's the guy that has a birthday cruise every year, so I've had a couple videos up there for the birthday cruise, and it's kind of like a poker run without the cards and stuff, and you just go and drive 20 miles, hit up a small town bar, have a couple drinks, eat a burger, jump back in the car, head to the next one down the road. And you put about 100, 150 miles on your car in a day, and you hope you do anyway, because if you don't, it's sitting at a small town for a while. I know that from personal experience. But yeah,
Well, if you
and it's
built cars in a week
yeah. Well, I mean, I technically started like a year in advance, but I
in your head.
crammed it all in 2 weeks. But yeah, so I like the idea of the kind of poker run style setup where we meet at a gas station or a parking lot somewhere, and we just kind of jump
Yeah.
off and do 3 stops and call it a day.
We've actually had other people in small towns join with us. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
They get excited when the cars roll in.
yeah. That old lady in the golf cart. She's like, "Hey, my husband seen you guys come in. He's up there in the garage right now, shining up his car. What do you have? He's got a Nova. All right." And then he brings it down, does a little, chirps tires a little bit for us, and
We probably made his day.
yeah. Oh, I got
Absolutely.
had a great time.
Still talking about it.
And I think that's a lot, especially small towns. You know, they love that stuff.
This is
Is there any other questions? that
Well,
popped up,
Cody
I
had a
guess?
follow-up question.
Cody says, "What about lacquer paint?" Question mark. Question mark.
Okay, Jen,
Ooh.
tell us everything you know about lacquer.
I don't know a lot, but I'd be a little scared of it lifting.
If you paint over
Yeah.
enamel or
What if
Yeah.
you seal it first?
Well, what's the
I don't
difference
know.
between lacquer and
Lacquer just-
enamel?
Sounds
Lacquer
like Cody
just
has a project going on.
yeah.
Strip
I
it
feel
down.
like-
bare
I
metal.
I
bet it was
feel
an
like
auction
Cody
bottom.
knows the answer.
So lacquer's
probably
old
bought a
school
bunch of old
paint.
paint
Lacquer's
somewhere
what
overseas.
Candy's painted in. My dad's 57 Chevy.
Oh,
It's a
wow,
lacquer. Yeah. So I have no idea on any of that stuff. All I know is if I try to or spray over something, and if I don't seal it, it just lifts and
Is
it
Yeah.
just
lacquer
turns
the
into.
bonding agent or something, or what is it?
It's
Just the old version of paint.
yeah.
It's not
like
like base
lacquer
clear.
thinner. I'm assuming that's
like
where lacquer
like
thinner came
enamel.
Oh.
Because lacquer is single stage, right?
Yeah.
And that's always lacquer's always single stage, or is that?
Yeah, you didn't clear it.
But you just buff it, and then it looks like it's.
Is that what the stuff that looks chalky? Like if you let it sit
Yeah.
on the weather?
Well, like I think that's all they used to
Single
use.
stage.
That's
back
all
in the
they
day.
used
Single
to
stage
use
will do
back
that.
in
It
the day.
oxidizes.
Mhm.
I mean, that car's probably painted with lacquer.
Oh, yeah.
That 58 Chevy
Yeah.
right there.
Swap meet
Um,
Louie wants to know about update on Spikes and Paula.
Oh, you want an update?
Mm-hmm.
RG. Well,
Sorry,
it's on.
No, you're good.
It's on engine number 2.
Yeah. Lead foot, man.
Number dose.
What happened to engine number 1?
Spike, should we?
The
What
main,
happened?
The main
Hey, Jared,
bearings
look
imploded. I don't know what happened.
This is the joy of
What's
building
that?
cars is that you can
That's
put
where Spike's
you
neck.
can try to do everything
Grab it.
perfect,
Huh? What is it?
and then
Let's show RG
That's
this.
for his back seat.
and then it just implodes. Something bad happens.
Oh,
no!
Oh, it's gonna be
geez.
dirty.
I was going to show this to. I was going to show RG this.
Oh no, Derek made it.
It's a pillow.
My ninth
mine.
grade
It's an
home ec
accent.
class really took my
You want to see the back?
core.
Hell yeah, mine.
Derek cuddles with that at night.
It's an accent pillow, and I'm proud of it.
The Impala's got a guy that looks like that driving it.
Yep. It's on engine number 2, which engine number 2 is doing quite fine.
My pillow.
Today I pulled the fenders off, and those are going to get tuned up a little bit.
You gonna do patches in them or new fenders?
Patches. And
First try.
I think I'm just going to red oxide the front clip, basically, and it'll be good to go for this year.
Tony asked a question also.
How much are the
how
pillows?
much are
I don't
the
know,
pillows?
Derek. What kind of price tag you want to put on
Hey,
those?
we will offer these on FTPSpeechLab.com.
I think $35 would cover it.
We're still working on the price on these guys.
One-off pricing.
if we
Depends
bought-
on how many
yeah.
quantities
If we buy them in bulk, we get a discount.
Let's do
So
an even 50. There's a little bulge in that. I think people would pay $50.
somebody definitely scuffed the crotch a little. Wow, this side is a little better. You're a little flat on that side.
Yeah,
It's
there.
really nice.
I'm
Might
just-
need to be around through the wash now.
yeah, he's a little dirty,
Sorry, we threw it around a little bit.
just like the guy on the picture.
Yeah, $50 a pillow. That's fair.
And
Hey,
they'll-
and they're autographed for
That's
50.
that's an exclusive
they will fix
deal.
your back.
Okay.
How?
You have to buy it to see.
Hey, you know those
Written
like,
instructions.
Yeah.
do you think we could get like the airplane pillows or
Ooh, what about a mask? that
have your
has your
foot on this side and your face on this side?
yeah, something like that?
I like that idea.
Tony wants to
$50
know
for the
if you
pillow.
can put a LS swap in
The world.
her
You can
70 Mustang,
you can always swap
70
anything.
Mustang, that's
And-
the best idea I've ever heard.
and wants to know if you would do it.
Well, you're on a long waiting list. But yeah, we could probably work something out. Matt just wrecked his truck or ran into somebody, so you have a candidate there with 5.3. So
5.3 is not an LS.
LS base motor.
LM, LQ.
Same stuff. It all
Rain man
transfers
strikes
over.
again.
Yeah, nobody was talking to you anyway. Okay.
All right, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, that's.
So you will do it.
I mean,
Great,
Let's go
absolutely.
over
if it,
here.
if it comes over to my garage, I'll do it. I'm not going to drive all over your house.
That's all we got to do is bring the shit over there?
Yeah, just drop it off.
I think you know that's how that works over here.
Oh no.
You just drop it off.
Yeah.
All
It's in my way. I'm gonna finish it.
I can't go to work for 3 days. This damn car was in front of my truck. I got to finish it.
Hey, what's the story with this 58 Chevy, Derek? Tell that story real quick. That's a good one.
The background.
Yes. I don't remember the story other than I bought it.
Okay, that's a pretty good story.
No, it's on Craigslist for it was $3,000, and it came with the 348. It is a 4-door, but it's rust free. It has one hole underneath the back seat. I found that size of a $50, and that's about the only rust on the thing.
Usually you pick the ones that are really rusty.
Yeah, I like the really rusty ones.
Well, they're cheaper.
Cheaper and a challenge. But just try to get the 348 running. Turned out, you should check compression first instead of spending 2 days trying to fire a motor.
So the thing was just wore out.
It's wore out.
Piston rings,
Yep.
were they broke? Or they just...
No, everything was good internal. It was just they're stuck in the land.
Oh, the rings were stuck. Okay.
And 30 pounds compression in one cylinder, 0 in several. And
I feel like 30 is a little low. 0 is definitely low. Definitely.
So you yanked the motor out.
yanked the motor. Had it gone through. Had it bored over 30. Everything else in the bottom end is stock still.
Is that the motor?
You should start
That's
it
it.
up.
We got the motor on a run stand. Everybody type yes, let's hear this thing run. If you want to hear a motor start on a run stand on the live feed.
Can you?
I'm going to need more than 10 people
Can you
to say
pivot
that.
it over?
Oh, absolutely. I can pivot that. I'm going to need a little bit of interaction from
10
our
people
audience.
seem to run it, huh?
Yeah, we got to get 10 people.
That's not bad.
Yes.
348
Hey,
with a 4
you
barrel.
said yes.
That
Oh,
must
that-
have been Spike.
Oh. There's a 4 already, so that's pretty.
That's pretty
Actually,
good.
that person said twice.
Well,
AF2
that's cheating. You
Oh,
can't,
we got them going now, don't
you
we?
can't enter
Oh, yeah.
twice. That's cheating. Oh.
Who's AF2 high for you?
Oh, that's Richard Rollins.
Oh, is it? That's
Never heard
good.
of her.
Watching this, yeah.
Yeah.
Not a Russian bot. Rip it.
Not a Russian bot.
Rip
right?
it.
Hey, John, can you type your question a little clearer so we can understand it? Are you talking about when we got to jam doors and jam things like that? And why do we paint one side first and tape it off? Question mark. Are all these yes? Start the motor.
Yeah, there's a lot
Yeah,
of them.
yeah,
Brandon
all right.
suggested
Make it
that
the
it
sign.
could be
All
a
right.
sign off.
Start
Like
the
the
motor.
grand
Oh
finale.
no! Maybe the sign off too. Let's
Maybe
start
we
the
can
motor.
do it
You got to
twice.
pivot the
Yeah.
camera over so
Yep,
that
we're gonna
everybody
work
can
on
see it.
This is taking a lot of work.
See if it starts.
I've never seen that before.
You got the choke on?
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm not ready.
He built it.
Like just for this?
Mike, ask Derek about the run stand.
So Derek, is this run stand bought somewhere? Or did you make it yourself?
No, it was made here in the garage. I had the radiator laying around for since my first mining project, 2009. So good place for it. Extra fan left over.
You know, one of these will make you feel great.
So what you did is you got all the parts off the shelf,
Off the shelf.
and you put them on a run stand.
Right. Except for spot, tap.
Derek, can we wheel that forward a little bit?
No, it's
people-
It's in there.
All right. Well, now that we blew your guys' speaker out,
It's always
we can
fun.
get this reframed. You can ask my wife what it's like when I had a run stand once.
Flames.
Flames, small block Chevys with big cams, and waking her up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, well, small blocks will do that.
Absolutely. And now we all go to sleep.
What, the carbon monoxide?
Yeah, if we
Oh,
pass out,
it
send them
actually
to
smells
7010
pretty
Star
good.
Street.
Oh shit!
No.
On the internet.
We start dropping like
Runs
flies.
So good, there's no fumes that come out of it. It just
Oh, it's
Derek,
just
100% efficient.
Derek, did you build that so you can have a competition with Spike when he starts his Impala a block away?
Yeah, we can hear it in the house when he starts.
You
I
can't.
thought
That's
you got
better.
Yeah, we
exhaust on
can.
it.
Jen goes, he
You
started
got
his
exhaust
car.
on it.
She'll text. She'll
I don't
text them.
Are you just in there? Wah 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 wah?
I hear
Well,
it when
there
it
is no
starts
choke,
up.
so I do
Well,
have to come up.
We gotta give her a little juice.
That's why
That's
he
another
was
one we
motor
need to
number
finish
2.
exhaust on.
He just goes out there and
Yes,
revs the
it
piss
is.
out of it.
Stop.
Yeah,
Stomps on
with
the
the
gas
TV
pedal.
on, I could hear it start
What was
up.
that, like Joe Dirt, where he just...
Well, I mean, he had his
revs the
TV on
out of
too.
his- Oh, yeah.
Dirt.
No,
I'm Joe Spike. Joe Spike.
yeah, that must be what everybody
Spike
at
Dirt.
Perry wears.
Spike Dirt. Spike Dirt.
Yeah, you got to bounce it off the
Hold
rev
it
limiter
down.
18 times, and then you can let
Ooh,
off.
any
and
word
it'll-
on the Gambler 500? We're getting.
Who asked that?
Cody.
When
Cody.
is that?
Gambler 500. I have not looked to see what the new one is, but it's usually sometime around the 1st of June. So clear your entire calendar from May to
Wow.
July, end of July, and somewhere in there you can.
Hopefully it's
come
not
along
the
with
first
us.
weekend in June.
Oh boy.
Why?
Why?
What's
What's
that?
going
Married
on
on the
there?
road.
You're getting married on the road.
If the gambler is.
Oh, okay. That's
Oh,
cool.
man.
You guys can get married in the back of the Winnebago.
Oh man, dream come true.
All right,
So
do
we'll
it.
do
One thing,
We'll do it.
Yeah, we'll even
Oh.
leave the Winnebago for a while after you guys are married.
Ever go on any long haul car cruises?
Who wants to know that?
Brandy.
I mean, we went like south of town once.
Yeah, we've probably upwards of 10
Hickman.
miles. Hickman, yeah. Farthest we went, personally, me, is Dubuque, Iowa. Which, how far is that?
So how
500
far
miles?
is-
350 miles.
Yeah, so it's not even that far. It's 350 miles. I lied.
Well, you're
Um,
thinking both ways.
Yeah.
That'd be 700 miles.
Hey, can I say something?
No,
Fest is
no.
April 30th. Fuck you. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
It's
Fuck
not
you,
for
too.
children. It's not for children. It's April 30th. Who's going on that this year?
I plan on going if everything works out and COVID isn't running rampant again for some damn reason. I've already had it, so I can go.
I can't go.
Why?
What do you have?
You got a Diablo run?
El Diablo.
Well,
The Fighting Rooster.
I don't know. Something's going on.
Well,
Uh-oh.
Perry's not until the end of the summer.
Yeah, you missed Greaserama for that.
I'm not going. I'm not. That's not what I'm talking
Is it a
about.
date? Do you have a date?
Wow, that's scheduling
That's
it
a
out.
It's
long-
really scheduled out there a long way.
yeah.
Is that a Russian bride coming in town?
Hell yeah.
Bring her along.
That's a good idea, but no,
Hey.
no. No, I'm going on a motorcycle trip. I can't go to the.
Somebody wants to know about
Jeez.
how much would a good lift cost, like the one behind you. Well, that one is not a good lift. I mean,
Such a
It's
liar.
all right.
I'm a poser. It's not bad. No, it
Was
works fine, but
$1,500?
It's been
That was-
holding that up.
it was $1,800 shipped to the house.
In what, 2008?
No, I got that. Jeez, man, I don't remember. 2002?
2012, I think.
2012.
So yeah,
Something like
prices obviously probably
Probably
went up.
gone up a little bit. But
Well,
Well, I got
that's
up a
a
little
weird
bit,
one
but-
though, because that doesn't
Low
have a bar.
ceiling.
It's kind of specialized. You can't see it, I guess, the video, but I think that's a little bit more expensive than some other ones are.
Yeah, it's
That's
not
not
a
for
bed
home
pack or
shops.
nothing.
Yeah, it's a home shop type one.
A
Low
bed
ceiling.
pack, you can get a bend pack for $2,500, I think.
I thought that was
Something like that.
Yeah.
No, I think they're.
I think you're right.
Yeah, 3,200. I think you can get a.
You can buy your bend pack list.
I'll tell you what, there's
Speedway
been
Motorshop
nothing
now.
wrong with this one. It was $1,800
Free
shipped.
shipping.
Are you getting paid to say
And
that?
He
it's
is
picked up a lot of vehicles.
www.
It's got me a lot of friends.
Speedway Motorshop.
This is not a paid promotion, so just so you guys know. But you can get them straight out of the boat from China on eBay for like $1,700.
Yeah.
My
So
God.
much?
$1,700.
1,700. This
Oh.
was 1,800 with shipping.
Is that what you got?
9,000
I
pound
have
lift
no
capacity.
idea.
Holds
garage
big
just
old
doesn't set
heavy
up for it.
Cadillacs.
Yeah.
They hold big Cadillacs, full size trucks. Yeah, the crust
We
we
kind
want
of
is
need
the
at
one
least
for-
like a 10-foot ceiling if you want to use one of those.
Yeah, this is
suckers.
10.6, and you can see how close it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I feel like 12
you just
foot's kind
barely
of
have
like
to bend
the
your
good
knees
number.
to get underneath and work
Yeah.
on them. So, I mean, it's
Have a
better
little
than
bit of
it's
head.
better than a creeper.
Speak
Jen
for
doesn't have
yourself,
to
bud.
bend. Yeah, well, you walk on your knees.
No, wait.
And just get to. They sit on the creeper under that thing.
So John had a question about a school bus.
Do you think
Does
you
two people in this room already own a school bus?
Yeah.
Who's asking?
I don't know. Somebody named John. I'm not
What
sure.
about the school bus, or what does he want to know about
He
it?
said, "Do you think you guys
I think
can get a
we'll put the
school
school bus on
bus
the list.
and can you do anything cool with it?" Is that what that is?
Well,
I'm
yeah,
not
we've
sure
already
what he
done a
means.
whole bunch of cool stuff
On
with
the
it.
lift or-
Thanks
Oh.
for asking, John.
I don't think the school bus is going to fit through the garage doors here, so it's probably
Oh,
not
we
gonna
can get it in here.
flatten the tires out,
Challenge
Um,
accepted.
put it on the lift, and it'll raise it up 8 inches.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, we do have a school bus, and that's just for for parties and stuff where we want to take
Speaking of
More than-
party buses,
more than a few people.
did you guys get a limousine?
I'm
Sorry.
still working on that.
Did you guys get a limousine?
I'm still working on that.
Nice.
No, we do not have a limousine yet, but It's
we
on
got
the want
VIP
list.
services in the house right here.
It's on the want list.
That's
for
the
sure.
neighbors,
Oh shit, we've got
not my neighbors.
Haul You Around and Cool Stuff Company LLC.
Brandy thinks that any future live shows should have a theme or a project because this show sucks.
That's what she said.
No. But
Someone's been
man.
drinking
she,
tonight.
she did say,
Yeah,
She did
well,
say-
You're supposed to work on something.
somebody
Should have
must
a
not
theme
have
or
been
a
paying
project.
attention because the theme was that we're in Derek's garage and we're talking about project cars.
We're doing a
What
traveling shop show,
Traveling
and
road show.
we're trying to figure this out. And this is only number 2.
Ask them what they want to see.
Yeah, what do you guys want to see then? Since we're not doing it right, you tell us what we're doing wrong. How's that sound?
Yeah.
How many of them wish they were here?
Yeah. Who wants to come down here and hang out with us?
Well, sorry, you can't.
We'll give $100 to the first person that walks through that door.
No, you give us $100 to the first
Wait,
person
yeah.
to walk through the
Oh.
door.
$100 to the first person that walks through that door.
Let's go get the school bus.
No,
Let's
you
go
Not
pick
out
them
you
loud.
up.
have to give us $100.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
We
what
said it wrong.
I can. I can walk out and then back in.
Travis Gibbons has a question.
Yeah.
Travis
to
Gibbons,
painting-
what's up, Travis?
Back to the painting quick question. What clear coat do you guys like to use?
If I'm doing something good, I like to use Deltron.
Ooh, Deltron.
DC 4000's my
DBC
go-to,
4000.
but no, it's
The
DC.
DC, the DBC, that's the Deltron base coat.
base coat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get mine at O'Reilly's. It comes
Arguing
in
with a
can.
paint lady.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
Chevelle
like
is painted in
PPG is not
Deltron.
any good. You want to use what you want to use.
Oh,
is
come on.
I like to use high tech because it's affordable.
glass.
Yeah, the Deltron is pricey, but it is
I
good.
thought Glaser owns PPG.
Incorrect.
No.
BASF.
Oh,
Glaser.
okay.
It's
That's right.
BASF.
Well, I didn't mean for that question to start a fight.
Glaser.
Nobody's
But here we go.
Yeah, I don't know. I usually spray some sort of a cheaper Omni product or a PPG product. Omni, shop line.
Shop lines for platinum
Dealers only.
Right.
I know. Yeah. I
But
know.
it's all PPG.
Yeah. And then clear coat, I tend to be a cheap ass a little bit. I've had good luck with high tech, so that's what I've been spraying.
Yeah, it just depends on the
Spray
project for
Transtar,
me.
I
too.
sprayed Transtar. I sprayed Deltron, Omni Clear.
You want me to read that to you, Derek?
There was one other one.
What,
I don't
my
remember what it
favorite
was,
shop?
probably. But I've sprayed them all, and the high tech one I tend to have. It works good with me and my gun. Like and I don't run it that bad. So
Oh, so it's Ford clear.
Before we get to Brandy's
Get on
question,
that.
well, but however, I did spray the firewall in the Chevelle like 2 years ago
Just
with
ran
my
it all the way down to
with
the
my
bottom,
remaining Deltron.
and it worked really good.
And I did it. I had my broken arm on the right hand, so I had to spray it with my left hand. And I was learning how to use the gun, so it's like can't do a very good job with it. And Zach showed up right after I was cleaning the gun out, and he goes, "This looks like shit." And I was like, "I know. I don't want to talk about it. I already know I ran the hell out of it." And he's like, "What are you talking about? It looks awesome." And I go, "No, it ran. There was a sag all the way down the firewall, right across it. It sagged all the way down,
Oh man.
and it just dripped off right where you can't see it. It was awesome.
It actually sagged enough that it like leveled itself out.
It ran. No, it ran all the way. The sag ran all the way down the firewall, and it just dripped.
I was messing with you.
I know, but
At first.
I was so mad at myself when I sprayed that because I was getting underneath that lip, and then I just like triple sprayed that area, and it was like it just looked like hell.
so
And
since you were 10 minutes late on the start, are you going 10 minutes or 8:10? Are you going to 8:10?
Well, what was Brandy's question? You said
well,
before we
I-
get to
as,
Brandy's
as
question.
long as
Before we get to
as long as we
as long
still
as
have
people ask their
interaction and
questions.
stuff like that, then yeah,
Just keep
we'll
going.
just keep going.
Hey,
So-
we close her down at 2 a.m.
Or until we run out of bush light.
Ooh.
and-
Oh, there's a lot here.
okay, we're
We came
good.
here to do two things: drink beer, and talk about cars.
In live chat, that's 3.
Oh
We're out of cars.
So, Mike, where is what's the update on Project Prelude?
Ooh.
'Cause,
Why is the Suburban in the garage?
Okay, we'll start with that. So I have not been able to work on Project Prelude that much. I got everything jammed, the doors, the fenders, the deck lid. Got the spoiler painted and the gas cap door painted. But yeah, so long story short, the Suburban developed a weird oil pressure issue after about 15 minutes of driving it. It would just start randomly dropping to 0 and fluctuating, and it would start going ding, ding, ding. Shut your engine off immediately. You're ruining your rod bearings, you idiot. And it's weird it said that.
That's what my truck did. That's why I put a new cam and lifters in it, solid lifters.
So I got on, started doing a bunch of internet research, and came to the conclusion that I must have had the oil pump pickup tube O-ring was cracked, because that sounded like all the symptoms. So I spent 8 hours or 5.5, I don't know, whatever, a long time laying on my back in the garage, replacing the pulling the oil pan off and all that jazz, replacing that O-ring.
Is that an upcoming video?
I did record all of that, so it could be an upcoming video.
Does anybody want that to be an upcoming video?
And
Did it fix it?
I went and drove it. Everything was doing pretty good. I was like, all right, we got it. Nailed it. Another one. I'm such a good mechanic. No, yeah, got about another 5 miles down the road, and it went to 0 and started telling me to shut the motor off. You idiot, you're ruining your motor. And I just replaced 6 months ago the oil pressure sending unit. So I was like, there's no way that's the problem, because that's a 35-minute job to replace that. It can't be the problem. So I replaced it. I'm not even going to waste my time pulling it out. Pulled it out to put a manual gauge in to see what the oil pressure actually was, and the connector plug-in was full of oil. So the damn sensor had failed. It was pushing oil by it. So yeah.
Hey,
so far it's working great.
we have
Looks like Tim's running,
somebody
running over here,
requesting.
getting in the door for $100.
We have somebody requesting to see the whole shop. That might be a little difficult.
This is actually just a stage setup.
Yeah,
There's just a
yeah.
curtain behind us.
If you look behind here, there's a bunch of camera guys and stuff. You guys don't want to see it.
This is a real deal.
Yeah.
This is a photo studio with a bunch of props in here.
Yeah, this
You
is
could do a-
this is the same
Well-
place they staged the moon landing.
You could do a just turn the thing.
You could
and
just pan it
talk about
around, I
stuff.
guess.
Yeah, just paint it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to go around.
What's a Tamco? How about Tamco?
I am not sure. I've heard of
Tamco?
Yeah,
Tamco.
that's what Travis Gibbs
I've
said.
heard of Tamco down in Kansas.
I think they sell that shit at Harbor Freight.